Welcome back, everyone, to a quick edition of Stat 7 Sports. Last time I ended up coming on a video to end up showing the top 10 remaining remaining players in the free agency market. And I forgot to end up including anybody off of the XFL who were the next two players to get signed. Jordan Ta'amu going to Kansas City from the St. Louis Battlehawks, and PJ Walker from the DC Defenders. Let me see if I have that. My apologies, the Houston Roughnecks. Wow, that's bad. But yeah, Ta'amu going to be the backup for most likely for Kansas City at behind Patrick Mahomes, and with PJ Walker likely to be the backup to Teddy Bridgewater in Carolina, especially for the fact that for Carolina, they traded Kyle Allen, their presumed backup, to the Redskins, who may end up being the backup, who probably be the backup for Dwayne Haskins. Now, with these stats, with everything on this, these were the only two quarterbacks that did not have any other quarterbacks on their roster take any sort of snaps whatsoever. All other 6 teams had a second quarterback at least throw multiple passes. Between like Eric Dungy, you had Tyler Cornelius, you had Aaron Murray for the Vipers. There's so many ones where, like, I could include Josh Johnson on this, who's someone who has been a starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But they've had competition within their XFL team, and these are the only ones that have not conceded any snaps. And with these stats, Ta'amu going 72%, 1,050 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Maybe not so much on the touchdown performance, but having the highest percentage in the entire XFL. And PJ Walker being really, for the short-term period of time that we had the XFL for the 5 games, he was the MVP. Sure, it was 65%, 1,338 yards, which led the XFL in yardage and touchdowns with 15 touchdowns to only 4 interceptions. These have been the top 2 guys on most people's perspective, the top 2 teams in the XFL. And it goes onto the picture of what people have for how the NFL is as well. And if we could have gotten further on with the XFL, we could have seen that the top tier quarterbacks are going to end up ascending above the others and end up just bringing their teams to a higher peak more often than not in where their postseason would have come up. With them being in opposite positions, this could have been easily their sort of Super Bowl that they had. But yeah, both of them were very impressive, and if I had more time, I would have actually gone and picked up a jersey on, my personal opinion, on the Battlehawks, because honestly that's my favorite design. As I've stated on a previous video with one of my friends, Connor Graham of Bayou Bullets. But with that being said, these have been the 2 top quarterbacks and have kind of ended up building themselves up. Walker going 5-0, and Ta'amu being tied for first in his division at 3-2. But it's interesting that both of these players end up getting positions before you got anything from the likes of a Cam Newton, the likes of a Jameis Winston. And they're getting looks before the draft is going on. So there's enough appeal for these guys to where they have enough chops to be able to potentially be a backup quarterback and maybe even a starter in the league if the one ahead of them ends up stumbling. I'm not going to say, I don't think Mahomes is going to stumble, but still Teddy, we hope for success. As a Saints fan, I hope for his success outside of New Orleans, outside of playing New Orleans. But he's probably one of the most one of the more unproven quarterbacks that has been giving starter money. And it's going to be interesting to see how they end up playing and how they're going to show up in the preseason whenever they're going to get their time. But it shows that the XFL can be something that builds onto potentially going back at the NFL. Maybe a bit of like a G League that the NBA has, or minor leagues of what a Major League Baseball has. It's showing that there is going to be interest by the pro sports if the minors of that particular league have enough quality to their performance. And it shows that there is potential for the XFL to keep doing well further along outside of just 2020. They can go going forward much further than the AAF did, and they've already gone further than what they can go further of what the previous XFL had done. But with this short one being done, thank you all for watching. I am the Contained Kunes. This is Stat 7 Sports. Y'all stay safe. See y'all next time.